One, two, okay. Finally, good. I'm on air. So, this is KB speaking to you from the Rose Room of the Valuable Gallery. Let me tell you, I thought today I'd go down memory lane and talk a little bit of some of my adventures in the underground in New York City. At one particular time, I was in great trouble and I was attacked by some villains. As luck would have it, the mission was the mission employees were around at the time. There was a mission right there, and after a brave and valorous fight, they rescued me and gave me shelter in the mission. But I was considered a sinner at the time. So as sinners were had to earn their living, they said, since I had no money, and also so sinners also have to look like sinners. So we decided that I would go out into the world and recruit people to see if they could get money or support for the mission with a team. But before I did that, I had to look like a sinner. Someone had found, it was actually making this too primitive, but they called it an instant uglifier machine. Because you put your head in it and an instant it can make anybody ugly. It made a horrible perm. So in I went. I got the instant person uglifier to make me into a sinner. And I had to wear a very simple tailored shirt with a good solid skirt. And there was another lady with that. And we took a large display filled with several different kinds of pamphlets for different kinds of fun. And with a gentleman in a suit, we went into, it must have been a square of some sort, to find our spot, to recruit people to come to the mission to either give money or support, or join the congregation of the church then. We were not the only people there. There were several groups of people who were indeed doing the same thing. They had their own booth, and they were all dressed in nice office clothing, and they had the caddy for all these pamphlets. It's about 6 foot by 4 foot, a very big thing, and it had pamphlets nicely displayed, and you would have like a spread of pamphlets, like a fan in your hand, and you would pass by. Would you like to get the message of God? So we were not alone. As we were looking, not only that, we weren't doing the best business. So we were looking around, and as we looked, there was a whole bunch of people that were coming into an event that happened to be the United Nations. And we were far away from it. No one had noticed it before. So what we did was really classic. They had a guy standing behind the backdrop. The whole idea, we had to go about 20 feet, no, about 40 feet to the east, one direction, without attracting undue attention from the other kiosks. Because if they would race to get their place before us. So this was a challenge. What we did is we maintained a position of standing straight facing the passerby. Okay, so we would not turn either left or right, and we would with our feet inch sideways as a group. We had one guy behind us holding the display. You couldn't see him with the display, and it would 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3 would all smiling, looking very quiet, holding the pamphlets without trying to make that we were move a couple of feet to the east and stop again and say, wait, start doing our pamphlets. See, no one noticed that we were about several feet closer to that big bunch of people in the United Nations. And we stopped. No one did, so we would start again. We would all, 3 of us, we would have our pamphlets, and we would not do anything, but we would maintain a calm and quiet position, looking as if we were not moving. And all of a sudden, 1, 2, 3, we would inch sideways, all with the man holding up the booth back another couple of feet closer to the United Nations, and again until we got to the United Nations in a rather lucrative crowd. That's what I remember. I remember that someone came to ask me, where did you get your haircut? And I said, I didn't know this, I said it was for down people, and it was called the instant hair uglifier machine. Someone's instant hair uglifier machine. And there's Cecil's Prince Andrew of England, I believe, and said, I would like to try it out. He said, you just put it on in a second and it does all sorts of weird things. It freezes your hair completely. So he looked like a sinner. So he put it on and came back. And his mother, Queen Elizabeth, thought it was funny. And she said she had to do it too. So she did it. And as she did it, it looked to me, the English are supposed to have curly hair. That it looked kind of Englishy. So I thought it would be funny. We got the idea to create a family of Queen Elizabeth with everybody of all different ages and all different sizes, and men and women, children and boys, and old people with the same haircut. And we created with that instant hair amplifier a family for a royal family, which was enormous. There were children, there were babies, there were seniors, they were tall, they were short. They were all supposed to be Queen Elizabeth's family. And I wonder what happened to the picture, because that's one of the things that we did. I know that we must have been there for a while when the mission came up to finally say the truth that they felt. This is the United Nations. Someone, I think it was a very young Reverend Jesse Jackson at the time. He said he would like to tell you, because he's very clean cut, he's from good family, he's always dressed up with good meat. We didn't understand how, it was very surprising when they said, we would like to tell you the mission that all these people here, they said they're speaking Japanese and Greek and Italian and all these languages. We would like to come to New York, doesn't believe you. No, they don't believe you. We wish we'd cut it out. We wish we'd something that say just stupid noises, like there's all sorts of languages in this world, because we know here in New York the truth, that there is only one God-given language in this world, and it is English. And you're just fooling around. So would you please stop fooling around? There's a lot of work to do in the mission. There's a lot of food to be made. There's a lot of people to eat there. And that was actually quite a hit with the United Nations. It took quite a bit of convincing to convince these people that there was another language other than English. And I think what happened, of course, is they had several people recite in Arabic the Quran altogether. So that was one way they did it. They were watching as all these people recited exactly the same what they thought was normal language together. That was one thing. And another one was an actor who was speaking in a different language, perhaps Greek, let's say, and he did all he started saying a very moving part of the speech. And his eloquent, very eloquent, that the man felt by listening to his wonderful words also was very convincing. So these were a couple of adventures that happened to me when I was saved in New York City, redeemed in New York City. This is KV speaking to you from the Rose Studio Divided Valley. Have a good